Welcome back to Dan on Dev. Today is going to be a little bit of a different episode. I'm just going to be sharing a little bit about my experience, my time, and my honor in being able to teach web security to Kevin Mitnick. For those that may not know, Kevin Mitnick passed away several days ago now. And when that news hit, I kind of woke up, I think it was Thursday morning, saw the news, and I was sad. He was a friend and somebody that I thought was a really amazing guy, and he had struggled so long with different health issues, and to see him finally pass, I think he was 59, was really sad. And so anyway, I'm going to be sharing about my time, my friendship with Kevin Mitnick. All right, so let's just back up. Kevin Mitnick was a kind of really the first hacker to really get arrested and penalized very aggressively by the FBI and the Justice Department. I remember early on in coming up in security, this is like mid-90s, 2600 magazine was carrying articles about his arrest and his trial, and really how aggressively they were attacking him and really trying to send a message through the prosecution of Kevin. I remember, getting my Free Kevin stickers, donating to the Free Kevin fund, I think I probably subscribed to 2600. I went to I had to find it at a local bookstore, I think it was. But I'd go every time I could to go pick up the next episode, largely to follow his story. And then obviously there was all kinds of other stuff in 2600 that was amazing. But following the journey during those years really had an impact on me and really kind of helped me avoid getting in trouble, because I was doing a lot of similar things in my experimentation. But I was kind of like, I got wise to being careful about it and making sure I was trying to find people who would pay me to do some of that work and not just do it all on my own where I could potentially get in trouble. So, probably it really impacted how I approached some of the security testing I was doing. Well, fast forward several years, I had started up this NT Objectives company with a few other fellows, and we had the company going. I was kind of a key man dealing with a whole bunch, and I probably, had kind of lost track of what was going on with Kevin. But I knew he was getting out. I think I'd seen that. He was getting out of jail. This is early 2000s. And I want to say it was maybe 2003 sometime. We had released NTO Spider, which was a web application scanner. It's now currently known as App Spider from Rapid7. But back then, NT Objectives and NTO Spider. And I did a lot of the sales engineering. I did support. I was on the dev team. I was kind of doing a little bit of everything. And but I'd monitor the sales emails that would come in. And on one of the sales emails I saw was from Kevin Mitnick. I was kind of surprised and told the sales guy, like, hey, Carl, I'll actually answer this one. And so I answered, and sure enough, it was really Kevin. And he had really just kind of come out of jail, finally was getting access to computers, because he was under like supervision for a period of time. He really, if you think about it, when he went in, there really wasn't, the web didn't really exist in, I think it was 96 is when he went into jail. So things had changed dramatically. He had kind of been working on getting himself up to speed, but he didn't know a whole lot about application security or web security. So I said, hey, I'll share with you anything you want. And he actually took me up on it. And then I ended up spending the next several months, a day or two a week, we would get together and I would teach him another thing about web security, about SQL injection, cross-site scripting, whatever. I was going through all of the stuff, showing him how to use our tool, talking to him about how developers build and why these pieces are broken. And it was really Like, it was an amazing time because Kevin, he's, infamous, or, he's pretty famous in the space, but what I saw in the person that I experienced was somebody that was really genuinely curious, that was humble, would ask questions, was there to learn, and I enjoyed my time with him, became friends. A lot of times when he was in LA, if we were both available, we'd get together and have dinner. Had dinner with me and my wife several times. Really enjoyed spending time with them, learning from him too. He would share stuff with me that he was doing. He was always doing his consulting business. I remember when he actually came out with his business card, like the first time I saw that, I'll post a picture of it, but he has this business card that's a lock picking kit if you break it apart. So I got a few of those from him. I have a file cabinet here. I had one on the file cabinet for years. I moved that when I moved around the office, so I got it somewhere else. But I did use one to actually pick a lock, but the rest I've kept as souvenirs. They're pretty darn cool. It was the coolest the coolest business card I've ever seen, really. But anyway, I just wanted to share what I knew. Kevin is a loss. I'm sorry for his family, his wife. Again, I saw a really amazing person. Appreciated him, the way he took care of his mom throughout the years, the health issues he battled. He really went through a lot. But he, all the way through to the last time I saw him, which has probably been, I think it was right before COVID. The last time I saw him, he was still the curious, friendly guy that I had grown to know over the last, 15 years or whatever it had been. But again, farewell, Kevin Mitnick. You had an impact on this space, on this industry, and on myself. Farewell. I know this was a little bit of a different episode of Dan on Dev. Really wasn't about development or really application security at all. Just kind of my thoughts. But if you enjoy this channel, if the content I'm bringing is interesting and compelling and useful for you, please click the subscribe, like, all that sort of thing. It really helps considerably. Thank you very much.